Okay, let's see what they were protecting. Necromancer Rask. Ah, I forgot to break the soldier. Let's do that.
The pictograms on the jar stand fixed. You see a shape emerge from the ruins of the broken jar. A lizard in the finest necromancer robes. It grudgingly nods at you as it starts to fade from the mortal realm.
Farewell to flesh. Farewell to bone. Farewell.
Those are your last words. Let's get free pacing, gameplay-wise, you mean, right? It's really slow early on, especially if you're a caster. Definitely, because of the dynamics of the spell slots. I think, like, I would say usually it's level 5, where you don't have to think every combat like, okay, am I going to do a long rest or not? But at least personally, I really love D&D and also the Baldur's Gate 3 combat, which is like D&D 5e. But I can understand what you mean. Your spells don't always hit, so it feels like you wasted it. You have to waste time to get the spell back. True. And I mean, that's a very different approach just in tactical, not tactical, tabletop RPGs. Alright, let's go for one more constitution, I think, so we can use the flesh sacrifice without losing our shield. Now it's -3 constitution. I don't think I will use flesh sacrifice with Lavender anymore. This shield requires 12, so yeah, 12 is okay. Don't think we need more memory, at least at the moment, so let's go all for being smart. Let's say let's go a little bit more for Hydrosophist so I can pick up more spells. Especially because Necromancy doesn't improve the power of the skills, but just my regeneration. Oh no, talent! This might take a while, kids. Divinity Original Sin 2, you have magical Tourette's. You can spam spells and keep fighting. Yeah, very different without the whole spell slot thing or mana or anything. I would say in Divinity Original Sin it's like skills. It's not really like spells which are, at least in most RPGs, tied to some kind of resource, usually like mana or something. Okay, what are we going to take? Dexterous, recovery. Could just go for big and better. Could also just go for mnemonic, which awards us 3 attribute points, so it's like big and better but nicer, but fixed to memory. I think I'm going to go with that. So we're not dual wielding. We won't be because I want a shield. Rope. We're going to go for mnemonic, at least with Lavender. For metal, rearrange the skills. I think there's a magic cycle. At the start of an encounter, you gain one of 2 statuses. Cycle of Water and Fire, or Cycle of Earth and Air. Cycle of Fire and Water increases your Pyrokinetic and Hydrosophist or combat abilities by 2. Cycle of Earth and Air increases your Geomancing and Aerothorst combat abilities by 2. Statuses swap each turn. So we're going to go with that, I think. Right. It sounds... it doesn't... +2 doesn't sound too strong, so I'm like, is it worth it? But I also don't really know what else to take as a mage, so I would probably go for mnemonic, which is not too bad, I'd say. Could also go for elemental affinity, which might be nice if we're standing in poison. It reduces the action points you need to cast. Let's go for that. And more geomancing for a little bit of balance. Torture and elemental affinity are nice. True. Torture also depends on the character, but for especially pyrokinetic, it's nice. Also for geomancing, because of poisoned. But not so much, I think, for cleric. Okay, we're going to go with intelligence. Good. Thanks so much, Juniper, for the support. With Ifan, we're going to go for... Still have slots open. So, going to go for... Intelligence. Just to be able to learn the first infusion for Afrit, we are going to go for necromancy or pyrokinetic. We're going to go for pyrokinetic. So we can learn to cast the fire infusion, which is nice. We don't really need like torture or something. I don't think there's a specific one for summoners. Tunist, morning person. Haymaker. Your attacks never miss but cannot deal critical strikes. Pretty bad for a rogue. Going to go for mnemonic. If I find it. I mean, it's sorted alphabetically, but I still have to search. Beast. Okay, strike. We're going to go for mnemonic. And Airforge and more inks. Here we go. So, 2 more. One of the very few downsides, I think, of the 6 people party. It takes some time. We're going to go for more warfare, and I'm not going to go to take mnemonic, so we don't need it currently. I'm going to take Picture of Health, so you get more vitality based on your warfare points. 3%, so it was like 21% more health. Which also makes it more interesting to pick Constitution in the future. I don't think we need really... Phoenix Knife is something I will want to learn. Besides that, I don't think I will take too many skills with her for the time being, so double strength. And last but not least, Sebille. I think they're probably the most interesting, like the biggest amount of interesting talents for rogues. Should I put one more point into wits to discover things? 6 people will be a little expensive to gear, but you can get the 5-finger discount to relieve your wallet. I'm doing that all the time. I think especially in Fort Joy you kinda have to play an Orc Tactician. Because I mean, it gets easier with 6 people of course, but especially in the beginning, it doesn't really help that much to have more people. Okay, we are going to go with more Scoundrel for the crit multiplier. Wielding. Want to be quicker, or do I want to dodge more? Because like both does more damage basically. Dual wielding, more dodging. 1 finesse, maybe 1 point constitution. Well, she's already so fragile. And I think I'm going to go for leech. Speaking about fragile. Dual wielding? I don't. Isn't it called dual wielding? What's the name? Fairy Master? Yeah. 10% dodging while dual wielding. We're going to take that before. Right. Ready to go. Quick save. Look around. What do we have here? Charming. Mutilated corpses and a jar of mind maggots. Mind maggots don't sound too similar, too different from tadpole, mind flayer tadpoles. But I mean, this game came earlier. Legend of the Blood Rose. Legend tells of the most precious rose, the Blood Rose, prized by kings and men from ancient times. Blood Rose grows only in soil suffused with suffering and fertilized with filth. In the days of Braccus Rex, the rose was grown using method esoteric and vile, the only methods proven to grow the rare blossom. Perfumer Evanel persuaded Braccus to bury the bones of the tortured dead within a deep cave. He sowed the seed within their emptied skulls, watered with the tears of the tortured living. In such a soil, the blood rose flourished. The scholars say that even today, were you to find this mythical cavern, the roses would grow there still. Most edgy plant ever. It's interesting that it doesn't say anything about the users, like, why would you do that? But I guess just fun from torturing is enough for Braccus. Summoner's Lament, Volume 1. Forward. This tome introduces the reader to life and studies of summoning genius C.H.Y. Mira. Ah, Chimera. She was gone from us too early, but the legacy she left behind is to be eternal. Her work gave a foundation for defining methods of modern elemental infusing. At the early years, Mira was troubled and a weak child. She left her family home early to become a summoner. In the early years of work, Mira was focused on developing and stabilizing ways of applying primary elemental infusions to the summons. Unsuccessful at first, she managed to make a point to the wide gremium of scientists and summoners and gained their respect. I think that's how you learn first time in-game about those combined skill books. C. I always want to press C, like crafting, not G, like whatever. Ooh, we do have a summoning book, and we don't have a fire book. Sad. If we pick up a summoning book, a pyrokinetic book, we can combine them and do the fire infusion one. Steel banded chest. Charming, it curses us. There we go. Devourer armor research notes. Notes on the armor of the Devourer. Crafted in the ancient empire between 400 and 500 AR, but not by the empire, no. Bring a new ruler to their proper ascension. Was forged by a lizard who named herself the Outlaw Empress, exiled from the nobility for the warped turn of her jaw. A pretty madness, but I will benefit. And there are 5 pieces in total. Gauntlets, sabatons, leg guards, helmets, and a chestplate. I've recovered the gauntlets, but a strange sensation washes over me when I hold them. A voice calls to me in the dark, burning, like... no matter. I uncovered some matchings of the Outlaw Empress's cult. She served as the voice of the dragon. Cultists use flaming arrowheads symbol to mark their secret gathering places. I wonder what else they may be hiding. Either way, it seems I would require a fire rune to open the true path. That will come in handy later. The Devourer's Claws requires strength. Devourer's strength courses through this armor, boosting its level to 20. I think if we combine all the parts. The wearer may channel a violent frenzy that feeds off the life force of enemies. That sounds cool and concerning.
The heavy gauntlets are cold to the touch. A prickle travels up the back of your neck, warning that you're being watched. Flickers of memory fill your mind. You long for solitude. The subtle scent of parchment wrinkles your nose. Fresh ink stains your fingertips. The memory vanishes, burned away by heat. Ash falls from the sky as a growling whisper addresses you.
It seems kinda demonic or devilish.
I see you. And inside you is the strength I've been looking for.
Who exactly is talking to me?
Patience. You must prove yourself worthy of such answers. You must find that place of longing in the home of a young scholar. I will draw strength from there to speak again.
As the heat around you fades, the desperate memory returns. It claws at you, trying to take hold, then slips away completely.
What is it? Ah, well. We'll find out later. Worm tremor skill. What can you do? At least in my experience, that's not the best skill. Sounds better than it is, but the damage is kinda okay. And just leaves a cursed surface. Can we talk to you? But there's still a zombie in a cage.
You approach the still body and see its nostrils flaring. Long dead eyes rise to meet yours. As you lean in close, it lurches forward. Its arms thrash against the cage bars as it tries to reach you. Looks like it hasn't been fed in a very long time.
You know, let's put this guy out of his misery. Wait, I can't touch you? I forgot to lock. Here we are. Here we lock. Okay. What? You see, the cage was locked. Why does attacking him just open the door? That doesn't make any sense. Oh well. Me chicken. Okay, I think this will be more tedious than I thought. Oh well. Move away.
I'll yield to none.
And heal you, because you're undead, right? You ruled this prisoner roleplay and it took offense. Maybe. How dare I? Imagine going into the dungeon and finding a zombie who's willing to play D&D with you. Sebille. Lockpick. Here we go. I mean, it is the mutilated corpse. Hopefully isn't alive anymore. Kinda ironic that it had lockpicks on hand. There are even more lockpicks. What kind of joke is that? Oh. Ugh. Ah, there's a gargoyle. Let's close this door. Alright. Who's there? Retus Perfidus. Another red with a name, I guess? Yes. Ugly sandals. Okay. I think we can get into another room through this pipe. What happens if I step on this? Oh. Okay. But we have a metal crate here, which will take quite some hours to completely be destroyed. Move it. Here, rest goes there. This goes here. Nice. And here we are. And now it's opened. Let's just have a look here. Before we go. Ah, this is sealed anyway. So we have to find out how to unseal it first. That portrait doesn't look sinister at all. That's a blueprint. On this page is drawn a blueprint of a tomb or vault of some sort. Underneath the drawing, words are scribbled seemingly at random. The words illusions and Braccus Rex circled multiple times, and an arrow points to a particular room. The words soul jars written along the length of the arrow in tiny letters. Where we had the multiple soul jars and had to pick the correct one. But still picked all of them just to see what happens. This room. Are you another cursed chest? Oh, no. Way too pessimistic. These are nice. Go hiking boots, which require finesse. I think they are not nicer than the ones Sebille currently has. Yeah. Crafting Bible Part 5. Veritable tome of knowledge teaches you a plethora of handy adventuring spells. Say spells?
I heard something. Something seemed to move into place.
Wonder if that unsealed the chamber. Nope, it did not. But the traps.
Now, that's the trap.
The trap mechanism stopped. Hello, tiny rat.
You don't look lost at all.
You know, for some reason, I've the impression you're sarcastic.
Sarcastic me? Not at all. I'd never be sarcastic me. Oh no, not in the least.
Not quite. You know, it rather sounds that way, doesn't it?
I do not. I sound perfectly normal. Obviously.
The rat gives you a desperate look. Help me.
You still kind of sound sarcastic. Question for you. Can you tell the truth, like, without sarcasm? Or irony? Same difference.
The rat opens its mouth to speak. Can't say anything. So it nods its head, then shakes its head, then nods it again.
Not able. Nods that can tell the truth? Anyway. So, are you somehow constrained by nature or magic to never tell the truth?
The rat tries to nod its head and fails. It tries to shake its head and fails. Its head ends up doing a strange, jerking diagonal movement that could mean anything.
This is not frustrating, and you are not a clever creature, not having rumbled my quandary. Get me?
No, I do not. What do you mean? So, okay. Wondering, is the problem physical or magical? How could that problem be physical?
Physical?
Uh-huh.
It makes a face that says, understand?
Duh. Teach me how to Dougie Red style. Okay, so, you know, it is kind of hilarious, but how could we cure you of that?
The rat gives you a grave and meaningful look, inviting you to listen carefully.
I don't think the problem is in my head, and further to that, I don't think the problem could be unscrambled by the use of sauce. I can categorically state that a short, sharp shot with something of a magical persuasion would absolutely not solve my problem immediately. And I do not invite you to look at the subtext in what I just said.
Interesting. I think I never had the hero attack that early as in this playthrough. Interesting that you can say magic would kill it. You know, I think magic might kill you. So, I wish you a very long and happy life, because I don't think there's anything else I can do to you. For you.
You are not a bastard. Not a bastard at all.
Because the thing is, if you bless this red, which seems like the easiest solution, just dies. So I'm kind of confused that the hero tag gives that away. Would make more sense for like the scholar or mystic tag to do that. Ah, can't reach. Makes sense. Latest. Oh no, another mushroom. Why is it always mushrooms? Was it not like berries? Sweets? I don't know.
You approach a decrepit well and stare down into its toothless black mouth. No sooner has your head crossed the rim than weak voices begin to echo from the depths.
Did you see that the handle was moving by itself?
Thirst, dry throats, drink, water, water.
Yeah, you're moving by yourself and you're talking. But since we're in Braccus' lair, probably you're also tormented, so let's help you. Rain. And?
The well is now filled to the brim with fresh, cool water, but what it has brought to the surface quickly evaporates any wish you may have had to quench your own thirst. You see the tangled remains of 3 corpses, a mixed mass of bones and skin from which 3 skulls protrude. They address you in unison, their voices a drone-like blend.
That's why the voice sounds like that. Larian's typical undead voice.
We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. We thank you for the end of torment.
You know, it was absolutely my pleasure. True thirst is a horror.
A horror, yes. To die of thirst, forever. To find hell at the bottom of the well.
How much time Braccus spent to just curse people in, gotta admit, very creative ways. I mean, we can ask who their tormentor was, but is there any doubt? You know, I think I already know the answer, but who was your tormentor?
The king, Braccus Rex, the madman with the crown.
You know, I know he doesn't really need a reason looking around, but why did he specifically punish you so horribly?
Wrath and terror. We displeased the king. The truth we spoke. His fortune told. No divinity would he be.
How dare they speak the truth?
And so he entangled our bodies and cursed our throats. Smoked the brothers of Baladur. We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. We ask you for a fare.
What exactly is this fare you're asking for?
The fare, the toll, the levy. The people of Baladur must be buried with coin. Coin for the pathkeeper that leads the dead to the kingdom beyond.
Ah, the classic. Toll for the ferryman.
Spare us coin. Grant us coin. The more you pay, the further the Pathkeeper takes us.
How much money do we have? I think quite a lot, because we're always stealing. Ah, come on. Ah, okay, alright. Sure.
Sweet Savior, friend of death and fiend of life, how much will you give?
Is Fiend of Life something nice? It doesn't sound like that. Lavender is generous, it says. Yeah, I think the afterlife is worth a Mad King's ransom. Which is just 150 gold. That's really not that much.
We thank you again. We bless you again. The wealth of the depths is yours.
A ring.
Pathkeeper, keep us. Pathkeeper, guide us. To the long-awaited kingdom we will go.
Laden with the burden of the coin you gave them, the brothers of Balladur sink back to the bottom of the well. Whether they will find their kingdom or languish in the dark, wet depths forever, you cannot foretell.
Alright, let's have a look at this ring. If it was worth our money. Ooh, 17 magic armor and scoundrel. Here we go. Who else needs a little bit more HP? Probably Lohse. Go. I think we have all the ring slots full.
The fare has been paid, and the well is silent, a rare speck of peace in a hostile land.
Sound is interesting, kind of sounds like treasury or something. I can hear glittering gold. Loot senses are tingling.
Careful now. That's a trap.
How do we unlock this? Ah. It's another device like the one in the armory with the helmet. So I think we'll just once again ask for some sauce. Ooh, uncanny evasion. Let's learn that. The character's dodging is increased by 90% and movement speed is increased by 20. Especially for like Lohse or Sebille, it might be quite nice. How do we get through here?
The air around the glowing relic thrums with power, as the source barrier quietly crackles in the background.
We could try to smash it. We could try to use elemental magic against the relic. We could touch it. Or we can call up our source powers and focus them on the relic. Quite sure that's what we have to do. But first, Lavender reaches out to touch the relic.
As you stretch towards it, you start to hear whispers in the back of your mind. From the corner of your eye, you see dark shadows rising.
Ah, come on. Curiosity killed the cat. Not minding that, Lavender lays his hand on the relic.
As your fingertips brush the surface, the whispers turn to screams. Your fingers burn with cold as you pull them away, and you can feel a darkness twisting in your gut.
Think about another approach. Lavender calls upon his source powers and focuses them on the relic.
The hum of the relic grows louder, and bright light starts to spill from its runes. Cracks start to spread across the surface, and it shatters like glass.
Thank you. Thank Crackrock for following. Ooh, Chain Lightning, our first source skill. A stunning bolt of lightning that forks up to 8 times an 8-meter radius deals damage. Let's go. Go. And here we are. 9 lives, it's all good. That's actually something which is very interesting. Depending on the language, or, well, the culture, obviously, because that's tied. In some cultures, cats have 9 lives, and in some they have 7. For example, I think in German it's that cats have 7 lives. Yeah. And it's really different depending on the country. Very mixed, at least in Europe. And let's have a look at those pants. Here we go. Nice. More perseverance. Enemy will also promise another artifact tile.
Too heavy.
Hello, sir. Oops. Hands of the Tyrant. Here they are. A magical dwarven staff. Let's go out of the poison. And then let's have a look at the set, because I think usually 5 is a complete set. Yeah, we have all of them. But the question is if they are actually better than the armor she currently has. I'm not too sure about that actually. Laser weapons. It's like the leggings are kind of worse. I mean, the constitution is nice on the wits, the perseverance is nice, and the physical stats are better. Part of the Tyrant also, less armor. Warfare is neat, but strength is nicer. The helmet is nice regarding Purge, but we do have the one, so... And also it costs us the leadership, which we invested. The track of the Tyrants... Okay, they are nicer, actually. But... just for them... the hands are kind of the same. So, I don't think we're going to use this whole set, which is kind of sad, after going to such length to recover it.